Okay, everybody, welcome. We are recording. Welcome to New Coach Call 2019, whenever you're watching this, because there'll be a recording, of course. I'm Marie Barker. I am the creator of Boomerang Wellness. We are a 2019 5-star Diamond Elite team, so we're doing some things right. And I hope that I can share some nuggets of wisdom with you tonight as you get started on your new coach journey. First of all, welcome to your new coach journey as a wellness coach and Beachbody brand ambassador, we'll say. You just made a really cool decision for yourself. And honestly, coaching, in my mind, is one of the coolest, most open-ended opportunities out there. So just get excited and know that whatever you just said yes to, if you're feeling a little bit of hesitation or trepidation, dive in, trust the process, and it will work in your favor if you are coachable and open to pushing your comfort zone. So this call is going to help you better understand your new role as a coach and how to reach your first goals as a coach and be successful, no matter what success is defined as by you, because we all do it differently, right? So one of the most powerful tools that you can sharpen very, very first for yourself is your vision for your own life. And if you're sitting there thinking, okay, she's getting a little bit deep right off the hop here. Yeah, because you got to know why you signed up. Why did you become a coach in the very first place? If you have any hope of making it long-term and making a long-term vision and business out of this. There are going to be days that challenge you. There are going to be days that are uncomfortable. There are going to be conversations where you take rejection personally, right? Somebody says no, or they ghost you in a message. You need to remember why you signed up in the first place so that you can remember what the long-term vision is instead of those miniature, small, in-between moments that might not be pure bliss. Because in order to have pure bliss, we also have to experience some discomfort, right? Nothing worth having is easy. It's all hard work. So number one, I want you to really ask yourself, why are you here and what made you say yes to coaching? And if you have a notebook in front of you, just jot down some of the things. Why are you here? What made you say yes to your coach? What made you say yes to jumping on this call and taking in this information and starting this new journey? This is an unconventional, but yet on the rise style of part-time job or career. This is not taught in school. You don't learn how to become an entrepreneur or a social media wellness coach anywhere else. It's very much trial and error. So you really need to understand why you are here and what made you say yes. Number two, I want you to write down, what are your goals with coaching? Where do you see this journey taking you? Do you see this being a part-time hobby that eventually makes you like $500 a week so you can pay for groceries and gas and cover your Shakeology? Or do you see yourself taking this all the way? You know, you really need to get clear on your vision for yourself. And like I said before, success is defined differently for every single person. So figure out what that means for you, and it'll evolve along the way, for the record. So if you're concerned right now that your vision might be a little bit small, don't be scared to dream big, and just understand that as you go, your vision will expand and you will change your goals as you start to hit them. Number three, figure out what your financial goal is first. For your first 30 days as a coach, is your financial goal just to pay for your challenge pack that you bought to sign up? Do you want to make a profit within the first week? So say you spent 186 Canadian on your first all access challenge pack. How are you going to make that 186 bucks back? And the best thing about this whole business is the money that you make is a direct reflection of how many people you help. So when you help just 3 people get set up with the exact same pack that you got, say that all access challenge pack, you make around $50 per challenge pack sold. So boom, right there, that's almost your challenge pack paid for within the first week or two of as a coach. Okay, so that's kind of how that works. So figure out what your financial goal is. Also, when I started as a coach, personally, I really wanted to replace my teaching income, and since have. So yay, insert income disclaimer here. But it was really important to me that I was successful with this, and I really truly took away the option to fail. And so it allowed me to just push forward no matter what, and to continue to have this passion to help people. You have to start with the intention of helping people, not just making money. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Okay. A little tidbit here. Life doesn't stop when you begin your coaching journey. So oftentimes it's awkward at first trying to fit in your 30 minutes to an hour to 2 hours of coach work a day, whatever you decide is right for you. But we all have the same 24 hours in the day. right? And when you're committed to your dreams and making that why happen that we talked about previously, you're okay with short-term sacrifice in order to achieve that long-term success. There's this quote that I really love, and it goes, or how does it even go? I'm going to butcher it. It's something along the lines of work hard now and like sacrifice now so that you can live later like nobody else does. Okay, it's something like, you guys know what I'm talking about, what quote I am. Totally butchering that. I'm blaming it on not having my glasses. But that's what it is. It's having that long-term vision and being okay with short-term sacrifice. So your short-term sacrifice might look something along the lines of you wake up an extra half an hour early in order to read some personal development and send out 5 invites. Your short-term sacrifice might look like not binging on 17 Netflix episodes and instead doing your coach power hour and then watching 2 episodes, right? Your short-term sacrifice looks like whatever it looks like for you, but just recognizing why you're showing up in the very first place and having that long-term vision is so vital. All right. We are fiercely dedicated to our own wellness and peace of mind. And in order to do that, we need to work smarter, not harder. So I'm going to help you guys map it out tonight, what it looks like and what your schedule is going to look like as a new coach, because I am a firm believer that if we don't map it and we don't measure it, we can't track it. So I want you on your paper in front of you, if you have a sheet of paper and a pen, I want you to write down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, weekend, and even just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I want you to just take a couple notes for yourself right now, just off the top of your head. What does an average week look like for you as a coach? As a coach, as a person, as a human? What are your average week responsibilities right now? So if you work 9 to 5, write down work 9 to 5, commute 8:20 a.m., whatever it is. If you have to drive kids to soccer, if you have a certain day for meal prep, if you have other responsibilities out of the house, if you volunteer, just make a quick jot of what you have for responsibilities each day of the week so you can see which days hold what. Okay. Once you have that written down, I want you to decide for yourself, what is the best slot that you can fit in a 20-minute power hour twice a day, or a 1 hour power hour once a day, or 3 to 4 15-minute sessions 4 times a day. Okay. Any of those allotted times, how can you fit 30 to 60 minutes of coach work in your day, whether it's in pockets or all at once? In my opinion, it's more beneficial to do it all at once if you're able to, but some people work shift work. I know Sandy does shift work and she works in pockets of her day. That works really well for a lot of people. When I was teaching, I was not sitting down for an hour at a time. Okay. I had my little pocket in the morning where I would do my personal development and I would send my invites first thing in the morning because I knew that nobody was awake and couldn't answer me back right away. So I would really quickly, I would send my 5 invites every single day, no matter what. And then I would go through my day and I might post a quote or post my lunch at recess or supervision. I would really quickly check my messages and might answer a couple on my phone. And then after school, if I had 10 minutes before I was coming home from teaching and going to waitressing, I would check into my group really quick and answer questions in my challenge group. So that's how I used to fit it in pockets of my day. It might look differently for you, and just recognize that whatever your schedule is, whatever you just wrote down for your Monday to Friday, you have to schedule it or it won't happen. So your coach work and your workouts and your reading personal development, your meal prep, all those things, these are very important meetings with yourself. If you treat this like a hobby, it will pay you like a hobby. If you treat this like a business, it will pay you like a business. So I always say, if you kind of sort of show up, you're going to kind of sort of get results. So give yourself permission to go all in, right? What's holding you back? It's you. So give yourself permission to go all in with your workouts, with your learning, with your posting, with your inviting, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Now that I just probably overwhelmed you, it can be super easy to overwhelm yourself as a new coach, right? On any new adventure, when you don't really know what you're doing, it can be really easy to get into comparison mode. You go into social media and you start following all these coaches and you're like, oh my God, I could never do what they're doing. Yes, you can. I promise. Do not compare your chapter 1 to their chapter 36, please, because it's so dangerous. You'll just fall down a rabbit hole and you can't serve yourself or anybody else when you're in that rabbit hole. So one of the best parts about coaching is that you actually don't have to have it all figured out in order to start. That's great. It's great news, right? You can learn as you go, and you can start making money and helping people right away, like I mentioned before. So your number one job as a coach, and this is really important for you to remember, your number one job as a coach is to focus on your journey. Can everybody just like, oh, thank God. Your number one job is to be the best version of yourself. Please name another job in the comments that pays you to be the best version of yourself. I don't know of any. When I was a classroom teacher, I was burnt from both ends of the stick, and they still expected more from me. Kids still expected more from me. I still thought I could give more when I had nothing left at the end of every single day. Okay, this job, you are going to be successful with this if you show up for you first. It's a little known secret that a lot of people don't clue in on. All right, so drink your Shakeology, do your daily workout, or take a rest day. Read and listen to personal development, whether that's podcasts, audiobooks, etc. Okay, and share your journey honestly and vulnerably on social media. And you get to decide what you share on social media, which is the best part. You get to decide who you follow and who sees your stuff on social media, which is another really awesome part. Okay, start to share, start to show up, commit to your journey. Your number one job is you. So I've got 3 steps here that are going to help you with kind of outlining what you do first as a new coach. I'm just going to check the comment. Yes. Okay. So here's 3 steps for you. Your step number 1, and sorry, I'll have 3 steps, and then I'm going to have 3 questions. Okay. So the first part, just listen, and the next part, I'll ask a question, and you can answer it on your sheet in front of you. So step number 1, commit to a workout program, daily Shakeology, and a new personal development book. Your number 1 job is to be proof of the products and programs and be proof that they work. Because when somebody comes to me in my Instagram inbox and they're like, yeah, I just don't think that program or Shakeology works. I think it's all a crock. I just redirect them to my page. And I'm like, have you seen my post for the last 4 years? I'm pretty sure you don't get abs or heal your digestion or travel all the time and work from home if it's a crock. So be proof. Right? Your proof is your testament. That's your testimony to this working. It's really important for you to actually be in the trenches too. You can't just start a challenge group and demand that everybody follow a program and you're not doing the program yourself. All right? Lead from the front and walk the walk, talk the talk kind of thing. So this in no way means that you have to be at your goal weight, that you have to be super fit to be successful, or to inspire people. In fact, the more work that you have left, the more inspiring and relatable you are to people who also have that work, right? We are all messy, and I'm going to share a secret with you guys. Nobody has their shit together. Nobody. Not even me. Most of all, not even me. And it's so easy to fall into that comparison rabbit hole, like I mentioned before, because we go on Instagram and we see this highlight reel of people's lives and we're like, man, they never have days full of anxiety. They never have constipation. They never deal with fights with their spouse. They never deal with days when they look at their bank account and wonder what the heck happened. Everybody deals with this stuff. Okay, it's called life. We all deal with it. And the sooner you realize that everybody deals with it, the sooner you're going to realize that nobody's judging you. And that when you show up as like the brightest, best version of yourself, you actually give other people permission to do the same. So just be unapologetic about your journey, okay? This is your permission to be unapologetic about it. Okay. I don't breathe when I speak. Step number 2, start sharing on social media about your new adventure. The secret to connecting on social media is to be yourself. So, there's one out the window. That's great. You just be yourself. Okay. Your vulnerability is now your superpower. I have a quote up on my corkboard and it says, your vulnerability makes you human and your humanity makes you influential. And I read it every single morning before I start work because I have to remind myself, my mess is my message. And it's so important for me to be vulnerable and show up authentically and genuinely as myself. And I can do that really well because there's no previous training needed to just be myself, right? So ditto for you watching this. Okay, don't just post to post. This is a really big one that I see coaches doing, especially as they start to get into it. They might post their bag of Shakeology or they'll put the product ahead of them. Show your face, be who you are, and show how this is serving you in your lifestyle, but you are the main picture in this, okay? You are not just a poster board for a new challenge pack, okay? Don't be hard on yourself when you're learning this, by the way. Just like anything, it takes practice. Just start. Just be okay with starting and be okay with not being that good at it. You will learn as you go and you'll start to enjoy it more, become more confident, become more competent as you carry on and continue with the consistency. All right, step number 3. Make a list of all of the people who you love and who you would love to do a program with. These are the first people you're going to ask. These are the first people you're going to reach out to. You're going to tell them about your new adventure, and you're going to ask them to do the exact same program that you're doing so that you guys can hold each other accountable and do it together. Easy peasy. That's it. And the best part about this is that you don't have to know everything to get them started, right? Like, you already know more than somebody who hasn't signed up, even if you just signed up an hour ago. You can sign them up exactly like how you got signed up, easy peasy, using ShareCart, using the TBB links, whatever method you use. And this takes the pressure off you, right? So you can learn alongside your loved ones and experience the program together. And to me, that's ultimate support and accountability. So you don't have to say, hey, I'm the expert and we're going to do this program and I know all the ins and outs of this program. Instead of saying that, what you can mention is, okay, I'm doing this program. I'm super excited about it. I know that it's going to be challenging and I would love if we could hold each other accountable and do it together. Would you be open to doing this program with me? Right? And that takes the pressure off your shoulders so you guys can do it together alongside. Does that make sense? Okay, here's the 3 questions for you with those 3 steps. Step number 1 question. What workout program and flavor of Shakeology, or if you're performance stack, ride or die, you can write that down too. What workout program and flavor of Shakeology are you committed to right now? What personal development book? Oh my gosh, Cooper is so freaking cute, Krista. I'm so distracted by him. He's so cute. What personal development book will you begin or have you just begun? If you haven't already, I want you to go purchase a copy of, or if you're like, no, I just go to the library, fine, do that too. The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. Also, The Entrepreneurial Roller Coaster by Darren Hardy is an excellent option as well. He's good stuff. Those are really, really good ones to start your journey with. Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy is also another one. I could probably go on for days about personal development books, but those are really good ones to start with. Okay, question number 2. What are 5 areas of interest outside of Beachbody that you have? You are like a freaking glorious rainbow. You have so much more to bring to the table than just, hey, I'm just this Beachbody coach now. Okay, what are your 5 areas of interest? Do you love knitting? Are you super into mechanics? Are you into gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, corn-free baking and cooking like I am because you have an autoimmune disease? Like, what's your shtick? Do you love crystals? Do you love meditation? Do you love shopping? You know, what is your thing? What are your 5 things, your 5 areas? Are you a family person? Do you have 17 cats? What makes you tick? Those things are all important. Like I said before, you are your brand. You are the coach, right? We're not just showing the programs and products. We're showing you front and center, using the programs and products to change your own life. That's what's inspiring about this. You're a multifaceted human. You have so many gifts and interests and talents, and your ideal clients relate to you and when you share you. Okay, so I want you to write down 5 areas that you think could be of interest to you, that you could think of right off the top of your head. What are 5 areas that I am passionate about? For me personally, I'm so passionate about healthy food. I'm passionate about mindset. I love traveling. I love family and relationships. And I can get down with a really good punny internet meme, right? Like, those are things that I enjoy. So figure out what you enjoy, and the 5 areas that you're going to use, you're going to actually use those to find your specific hashtags on Instagram later on too. You don't have to worry so much about that, but on Instagram, you use hashtags to connect with people, right? So if you're super into crystals, for example, you might be searching up like crystal junkies or the universe has your back or spirit junkies or whatever. You might be searching up those kind of hashtags that have to do with your other people who really like crystals. That's just one example. Like I said, if you're a farmer, you might be search up farmer wife or harvest season or whatever, and you're going to connect with other people who are also in that time of their life, that season of their life, and have those interests. Does that all make sense? Okay, and question number 3 / action item number 3. Brainstorm all of the people that you love and no. These are going to be the very first people that you reach out and share your new adventure with. And I want you to just like free flow right. In the Coach Online office, there is a memory jogger sheet in your training tools that you can use. And it gives you prompts to think of different people that you've maybe worked with or went to school with, or other soccer moms, or your old dentist, or, you know, just people that you've had in your life that you might not think of. And you can also scroll through your Facebook friends. You can also scroll through your Instagram followers, or who you follow, and find out, oh yeah, I forgot about so-and-so. I forgot about so-and-so, and write down their names on a list. Because when you work from a list, it is so much less intimidating, and you have those names there, and you can get excited and be like, okay, today I'm going to reach out to these 5 or 10 new people, and I'm going to ask them to do the new Ultimate Portion Fix or 21-day fix program with me starting on this date. I'm super excited. And you just ask them to do the program with you. And when you sign them up the exact same way that you got signed up. Does this all make sense so far? Ish? Okay. There'll be time for questions afterwards. Okay. Let's talk about the vital behaviors, because this is something that is so key to your knowledge as a new coach. There are always things that you're going to want to learn. There's always fluffy stuff you're going to want to do. I remember when I started coaching, I was like, I'm going to start a blog, and I'm going to have a website, and I'm going to do this and write a book. And I like had all these amazing ideas, and I still do this to myself sometimes. And then you have all these amazing ideas, and you sit there and you're all like in your glory for a second. And then it all comes crashing down on you and becomes so overwhelming that you get analysis paralysis. Do you guys resonate with that at all? Do you ever just have like a million great ideas, and then all of a sudden you just don't do any of them because you realize, oh my God, this is overwhelming. I'm just going to watch Netflix. That's way easier. So we have what are called the vital behaviors. Your vitals are keep you alive, right? So your main job as a wellness coach is to take care of you first, like we talked about before. And I'm going to talk to you about the 4 vital behaviors really quickly, just because when you do these things consistently, not only are you going to create magic in your life in every single area, right? But you are also going to see success as a Beachbody coach. I think one of the greatest misperceptions of Beachbody coaching is that it's just about working out. It's just about drinking some kind of nutrient-dense shake. It's just about posting on social media. You will change your entire life, your relationships, your finances, your emotional well-being, everything. You will change your whole life with this business opportunity. It sounds crazy, I know, if you're just getting into it. If you trust it and you do these vital behaviors every single day, committed, okay? Don't half-ass anything. We're full ass here. Okay, so vital behavior number 1 is be proof the products work. I already talked about this one pretty in depth. So use whatever Beachbody solutions that you love, use them daily and share them. Become proof that they work. They work for increased mental wellness. They work for increased physical wellness, right? Be proof that they work. Don't just sit on a pedestal, I guess. Don't just sit on a pedestal and preach down that people need to do core to fours or lift 4. Like actually get in there and do the programs with them so you know what you're talking about and you can experience it as well. Vital behavior number 2, it's 3 parts: connect, invite, and follow up. So in order to send somebody an invite on social media to join your group, you need to first connect with them. And connecting can look different. It can be you sending them a message. It can be you leaving comments on their pictures. It can be as simple as a follow on Instagram.
You can get.
Oh my gosh, who's that cute child? Oh, somebody needs to mute themselves. Elizabeth. Oh, yeah, she's got it. Okay, that child sounds like the cutest little human I've ever heard of, ever.
Don't be tricked by that cuteness. Okay, I'm muting myself.
Deal. Okay, number 1 is be proof the products work. Number 2 is connect, invite, follow up. So in order for you to invite somebody, you have to first connect with them. And like I said, that's Zoom. Like I said, you have to connect with somebody, and you can do so in a different way. It can be a message, it can be commenting, etc. And then you can invite them, right? And once you've invited somebody, then you can follow up with them. And the thing about follow up is most people don't understand that's the most important piece. So when you're starting out as a coach and you're reaching out to these new people and they're maybe saying no, or they're not answering, or they give you these objections, don't worry. Like 9 out of 10 people are just not going to be ready that 10 out of 10 person is, and you're going to get to change their life. And then those other 9 people are going to come around. Can you just show me your hands if you were asked to coach like more than 3 times? Anybody in this call? Oh, interesting. Half of you. I have coaches on my team who are like, people just don't really seem to want to join me for my groups or for coaching. And I'm like, how many times have you asked them? They're like, oh, like twice or 3 times. And then I have to remind these same coaches that I harass them like 10 or 11 invites. So in order for them to join. So just remember that consistency is so important and the follow-up is so important. A lot of people just need to see something over and over and over again and be exposed to it over and over and over again until they decide that they're ready to do it. Okay. Doesn't always make sense, but that's the way it is. Okay. Number 3, get people results. How are you going to do this? You're going to hook people up with an awesome challenge group that you run by yourself or with your coach or with a bunch of coaches or with your whole entire downline, whatever. Get together with some other coaches, run a challenge group every single month, focus on a workout program, focus on a nutrition program, provide support in the group. And that's how people get results. They get plugged into that group. They do a program alongside you and they start to see results from drinking Shakeology and doing the workouts and reading personal development and being involved in your new wellness community. And finally, vital behavior number 4, which is actually the most important one to me, is do personal development. This is such an easy one to skip, especially when you're just starting out as a new coach. And it can be really easy to let your ego take over and think, I don't need that. I don't need personal development. I don't need self-help. I'm not broken. And nothing could be farther from the truth. I've studied some of the most successful people in the world. And one of the common denominators among all of them is that they read a lot of books. And the books that they read are all on personal growth, business growth, emotional healing, etc. Okay, so get in the personal development game. This is so, so important. And you can do so by listening to the National Wake Up Call, which is hosted every single Monday. It's also on the Team Beachbody podcast, which is amazing, or it's hosted in the Champions page on Facebook, which is another amazing resource. You can also, attend live events. This is considered professional development. Come to Summit, the annual conference every year. It's amazing. Go to a Super Saturday that's hosted 4 times a year in a city near you. Those are the smaller events. And hit Success Club, which means help 3 people a month get set up just like you did. First of all, to cover your Shakeology, get that paid for. And second of all, that qualifies you for Success Club. And when you hit Success Club for the entire year, you get asked to come on the Success Club trip, which is a paid for trip. Last year we went to Mexico. It was so amazing. In about 3 weeks, we're going to the Bahamas on a cruise. Beachbody rented out the entire Harmony of the Seas cruise, which is the biggest cruise ship in the world. So extra and amazing. But those trips are paid for when you hit Success Club. And Success Club just means helping 3 new people a month. Okay. All right. Do personal development. That's the 4th one. Your team training is going to have so many different resources. Like I said before, it can be really easy to overwhelm yourself, but so long as you know why you're here, so long as you know what your goals are, you're clear on the direction you're going, you're open to learning, you're open to asking questions and failing forward and just doing the best that you can with what you know right now, you will see success with this. Okay, and use those training videos that you have available to you to expand your knowledge. But right now, today, you have a list of people. And if you don't, listen to this call again and write down your list of people. You can use Share a Cart, which is really user-friendly, or you can use the Team Beachbody links page, which is also really user-friendly. You can talk to at least 5, 10, 15 people and invite them to your next challenge group or your coach's next challenge group. And then all that's left is having those conversations with them, finding out their goals, asking them what flavor of Shakeology they want, what's your email, and then you can send that link away for them to fill out and get them set up in your group. Coaching is so simple, you guys. It's so bone simple, but it's really easy to overcomplicate it, and it's really easy to tell ourselves stories about why inviting is hard or how we don't have time or all these kinds of things, And it's just not true. Make time for it, commit to it, and this will change your life if you do those things that I mentioned tonight. So I hope that was helpful. I'm going to open up the chat just so I can see if anybody has any questions. If you guys have questions, just put them in the chat or unmute yourself and I will answer them. Because if you have that question, most likely somebody else does too. Everybody's like, nope, solid, got it.
So I have a question for you, because I
Yes.
know that obviously like these are all new coaches for the most part on here. If you could give one piece of advice for these new coaches just starting out, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good one. If I could give you one piece of advice, I could give you many pieces. If I could give you one piece of advice as you start your new coaching journey, it would be the sooner you deal with your own baggage and the sooner you process your own emotional stuff, the faster and farther you're going to go with this, and the sooner you're going to step into a role as a leader. But until you deal with your stuff, whatever your judgments or your childhood traumas, or this sounds intense, but it's true, because you can only go as far as the person you are, and you have to become a person who is able to handle a level of success before you can achieve that level of success. So this year, I'll give you an example. My team hit an awesome level of success that not very many people in the company get to achieve. And I firmly believe it was because this year, and myself personally too, I should give myself credit where it's due, I worked my butt off for the last 4 years. And this year alone, I did the most personal growth I have ever done in my entire life these last 12 months. And it's no surprise to me that that was synonymous with our team's success. Sandy's smiling because she knows. So this is true. So I'm going to cheat and give you two. Number one is deal with your shit. And number two is don't ever give up. You have to remember that like this is the mountain of success, and you're here doing these laps, and somebody who's at 5-star, 10-star, 15-star, they've just been doing laps for longer than you. They're not doing anything different. They're just doing the vital behaviors. They're just showing up, and they're eager to learn and to grow. They just have more laps. So do not give up. And those are my two.
I love that. Oh, we got a question in the chat. How do you not feel awkward when inviting? Oh, I love this.
That is a
Okay,
good one.
so I would say, I think about it this way. Like, I think about, if you were inviting someone to a party, you would actually invite them. So, for example, if you were going to throw a party, you posted about it on Facebook, and you just made this event on Facebook, and you're like, hey, I'm having this party at my house at this time, like, show up, bring food or whatever. How many people are going to see that and just keep scrolling by because they're like, oh yeah, she's not talking to me, or like she didn't directly invite me, so like I'm not going to just show up at this party. Maybe like that's not toilet paper, by the way. Oh, my mom's boyfriend's house. In his office. But anyways, like a lot of people are probably going to scroll past, but if you directly send them a message and you're like, Susie, I'm having this party at my house at 6:00, show up. It's going to be so much fun. She's going to be like, okay, yeah, like I'll be there, and if she can't come, you're not going to be like offended. You're not going to be like, oh my God, she hates me, we're not friends anymore, but she's never going to feel like she's invited to the party unless you invite her. And you're throwing a freaking party with these programs. Like, this is a gift you have to offer people, and it's like seriously selfish not to share it. And I would feel rude not inviting my friends to an awesome party or anything else that I love. So that's like how I like to think about it. You have to send them the invite. Like, people are waiting to be invited to your party, and they're going to feel like really not cool when you don't invite them. Like, personally invite them. So that's what helps me anyways. And then when you're having people sign up to join your challenge group, how many days / weeks do you have them join before starting the workout program? So I have people starting every Monday, but in order to create urgency and getting people to sign up by a certain date, I do like to promote, on my stories or wherever I'm promoting my upcoming boot camp, I put a start date on it. So for example, I'm talking about right now my March 11th boot camp, and I said that prep week starts on the 4th and we kick off on March 11th. And so you need to get enrolled, by Thursday, because obviously try and hit Success Club. But I have people constantly, for me personally, I have people enrolling all the time because I don't want them to have to wait an entire month to get into a boot camp. But I just don't talk about that on the publicly, hey, you can sign up whenever the heck you want, because I want to create the urgency and I do want people to try to start together. But if someone has to wait 2 days after, I'm not going to tell them, no, you can't sign up and you can't do it. I want everyone to have the opportunity, but I think giving them, setting your deadline. So for example, if you're just starting to promote your challenge group now, maybe you want to pick halfway through March or something, but always starting on a Monday is my preference.
Can I add to that?
Like first Monday of the month. But since that's pretty close, if you're just starting to promote a boot camp, maybe give yourself a little more time.
Okay, I want to add to yours because I think that's so important for people to hear. And I also want you guys to remember that when somebody purchases a challenge pack, they get access to Beachbody On Demand within 24 hours. So they have access to all the workouts. They have access to all the program resources. They have access to all the recipes. They have access to your challenge group. Just because their tools, their physical tools and product or nutritionals aren't coming in for another week doesn't mean that they can't start their journey with you, right? And dive into whatever resources you have available to them to start. And you don't have to, this is me playing the other side of it. I used to run a prep week every single time. I stopped running a prep week because I found my people were so gung-ho about prep week, and then week one would come and they were kind of like, okay, now it's week one, what? So now I just have a prep week, a little handbook, a little PDF that I send them, and it goes over meal prep, and it goes over cleaning out your pantry, and it goes over taking before photos. And I tell them, okay, I'm expecting you to check in with me every single weekend. I'm not going to chase you. I expect you to check in with me. This is the group, and here's how to get started. Let's do this together. So it's really important to just remember that, like Cassidy said, you don't have to wait a whole month for somebody to join. They can always join whenever. But like she also said, creating that urgency on your social media helps create positive tension for people to make a decision. That's what you're helping them do. You're coaching them to make a decision in their life that they are worth it, that they are worth this investment in a challenge pack, and to start on that Monday, because that is what the mindset is. So awesome. Okay, are there any other questions?
Yeah, do not feel afraid. It's open game. You can literally ask us anything. There are no dumb questions. There's nothing off limits. And this is your chance to ask us anything.
I'm trying to think back to when I was a first coach. I didn't talk about Emerald, but that is a really important topic. So I feel like, go for it.
I just wanted to reinforce, Marie, what you had talked about earlier about what you're looking for out of this business. If you are hobby coaching, you need to expect hobby results. If you want to hit this full force, power hour every single day is non-negotiable. You just need to set your own guidelines for what you want out of this, so that you're not constantly, letting yourself down, but you're also know that you're making the right steps to what you want to do with it. Too many coaches in this biz working it because they're showing up on their stories, but they're not doing their power hour. So make sure that if you want it to succeed, that you need to put in the work. And just as you had said, give it time. Mm-hmm. Do not give up on this process. I'm almost 3 years in, and it is just starting to take off, but totally worth it, because I've hit Success Club every month and I've done the vitals, even in my 15-minute pockets in the bathroom, because that's the way I work my whole business. Mm-hmm. Even it's that way, just know, you guys, that if you put in the work, the business will build.
Yeah. Boom. Mic drop, Sandy. I love that. Okay. I want to finish with one thing. We might get cut off because I do have a free Zoom account. But something that I didn't mention is kind of, if you're hearing all this stuff and you're going, okay, but what does it look like? What does that look like to do my power hour? Go into your Coach Online office and go to your resources or tools. And there's the new Success Club tracker there. The Success Club tracker comes with a checklist that you can print off for the week, as well as a contact list that you can fill out for that week. And it has a little check mark for the date and a little spot for if you followed up with those people. Print out a year's worth of those, put it in a book. That's what I did. I went to Staples, I bound it, and guess what? Now I have my checklist and I have my contact list, and it's all in this book. And now I can sit down and I get excited about doing that. And I work from my checklist, because if I don't work from my checklist, like I said before, if you don't measure it, you can't track it. And I measure how many new people I talked to, did I put up a post today, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So work from a checklist, do your vital behaviors. Don't try to recreate the wheel. Just show up as yourself. Be the best version of yourself. Don't fricking give up. Okay. And don't let naysayers or any people who are projecting judgments towards you, if you do encounter that, don't let them get you down. What they eat doesn't make you poop. So please remember that. It's really important. Okay. I love you all, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night. I hope this was helpful, and welcome to Team Beachbody. It is honestly the most fulfilling, rewarding job you will ever have. So I hope you make something of it for yourself.